First loss, Joe. Just stings. I know you're used to losing, but the Chargers hadn't lost since, that Texans game. And now here we are in the losers column.
It's nice though. It's finally like Charger fans have kind of shut up on they only like I know you, Mike, but a lot of Charger fans exist online. Like that's the only time they ever talk to me is online. Like I don't see Charger fans in the wild. It's in the wild,
like out
right?
About.
But we talked about it last week. What did I tell you, Mike? I said if you can get past this game, I could see the Chargers possibly going 7-0. But this was a game, especially with the defensive line that they had. And when the Chargers, Mike? I've always warned you about this, and you, like a Raider fan, we know that we suck too. We know, but we get hyped up. Charger fans know the injury bug is going to hit them at some point in the season, and it doesn't matter. And like I've always said, it doesn't matter how the Chargers start out. That injury bug hits, and it's like you guys have a curse, we have a curse. It's always there.
Well, to be fair, this year across the league has not been great on the injuries, so the rest of the NFL is joining us in the injury bugness. You're tuned in to NFL Mike's Corner podcast, and not as excited as last week. Obviously, Chargers took a loss. We're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about the Raiders' loss too. Don't worry. We're going to talk about the tie, and then we're going to give our picks at the end of the show for Week 5. You see all the games below. Going to be a good one this week. We actually have a lot of very interesting games to get into and talk about, but like I said, we're going to start here with the Chargers. Like Joe was saying, the Chargers suffer their first loss this weekend. Bunch of injuries. We lose Joe Alt in the first quarter of the game. He's going to be out for a few weeks. News actually just broke, I think a couple hours ago. The official injury is a high ankle sprain, and he's set to miss several weeks was the wording. But you and I both know high ankle sprains are the type of injury. It's kind of like a hamstring. You cannot rush it for one, and it almost isn't going to go away the rest of the season for two. And it's going to be an injury risk to other body parts for three. So high ankle sprain is not something you want him dealing with. The good thing is he probably will come back, and he will come back somewhat soon, maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks at the most. So that's the one good thing to look at. But the Chargers were already down Rashawn Slater. Mekhi Becton didn't play in this game because of a concussion, and now Joe Alt goes down. And like Joe was saying, he said it last week, the injury is going to catch up to us. It's like they basically were like, where's the one mismatch that the Giants can win this game at? All right, the injury gods are just going to attack that one spot on the Chargers side.
Hey, and I don't think the Giants ever want to see the Chargers come to New York again. Like, this is the second time that the Chargers have hurt a star wide receiver for the New York Giants.
Yeah,
Odell Beckham Jr., Chargers' fault. Malik Neighbors, Chargers. ACL out for the game, are out for the season. Like, that sucks. But if you want to talk about the Chargers, is something wrong with Herbert? Like, is he 100% now too? Like,
I would probably guess he's 90%. I mean, as many hits as he's taken, there's no way he could be 100%. He's taken some Joe Burrow, Andrew Luck level numbers of hits in the last couple of weeks when you talk about per game. But the question comes down to is, can he step up into the pocket? And that has been a big no. The interior of the offensive line has not been doing a good job at all. So all of his throws, kind of like you're saying, they kind of look like he's not putting everything into it, but he's doing it because he doesn't have anywhere to put his feet down. He's throwing everything under pressure. I mean, that Broncos game, he was freaking lethal. And then in this game, he's getting pressure within 1.5 seconds. I don't think that he's necessarily hurt or dealing with anything specific. I think that his body probably has as much wear and tear as any quarterbacks in the entire NFL.
Yeah, and we talked about this last week. The Chargers' schedule worked out well for them. The first 3 games were all division games where you already know this, Mike. You could be the crappiest team. You could be 0-10, but going into a division game, you're hyped up. Like, division games are a different level than regular going to the NFC games matchups. So the Chargers had 3 pumped up division games in a row. Then they had to travel across country. It's not excuses. Like, they're NFL teams, they get paid millions of dollars, but then they had to travel to the East Coast, play at a 10 o'clock time zone, losing with injuries, and were playing a team with a rookie quarterback with no tape on them, and I told you, maybe they overlooked them. Maybe they were like, hey, we could beat this team. They haven't been that good, but the Giants they're a sneaky. Sometimes they're a sneaky team, and sometimes you overlook them, especially coming off a big win. This is the NFL. Like anything could happen, right? Like week from week, we've seen it where like the Titans lose to the Packers, but then the Packers beat the 49ers, but the 49ers lose. It's just like a big circle that I think somebody does the graphic every year. By week 9 or 10, they'll have a graphic of the worst team in the league, which is like 1-8 at that time, how they go and lost to the best team, like a big old circle of how everybody beat everybody. It's just the way the NFL rules, and that's the beauty of it, right? That any given Sunday, that's what we always say, any given Sunday, anything can happen.
It is a very competitive league, and the things that you're saying, like, the travel, the injuries, from out of my mouth, it's an excuse. Out of your mouth, it's reasoning for why the upset happened, right? That's the complete difference. But yeah, any given Sunday is definitely active in the NFL, especially when it comes to the Chargers of all teams. Remember, we did lose to the 0-15 Cleveland Browns in my mid-teenage years, which was a blast to go to school the day after that one when the Chargers lost the only game that the Browns won that season. I do feel terrible for the other side too when it comes to Malik Neighbors. That is an injury that is just brutal when you think about what Neighbors has gone through in his career, what everyone thinks he is as a player and what he can be at this point, even this season, but next season and the year after, and what this injury is going to do for that. But what he's gone through, 6 different starting quarterbacks to get to Jackson Dart. And then Jackson Dart goes in there and slays statistically the best defense in the league. And then Neighbors goes out with a season-ending injury in the same game that it seems like, finally, rejoice, Malik Neighbors has a quarterback. It's finally here. And then that goes down. You definitely don't want to see it. With all of it being said, though, Joe, the bright side for the Chargers is, one, we still should have won this game based off defensive alone. They gave the offense plenty of chances over chances. I just think that adjusting to losing Joe Alt in a game like that, it hit them. And it completely changed the entire game plan, for one. But also, the Chargers offensive line, the mentality wasn't like, hey, at least we still have this anchor on that side. The whole trust in the whole O-line goes down when you lose him as well mid-game. I think the bright side, not the bright side, but the good thing is that Herbert has dealt with this exact situation multiple times. His rookie year, that offensive line was not better than even the offensive line that we have now, just by way of having Jim Harbaugh at coach, because that's how bad his rookie season offensive line was. Justin Herbert's rookie O-line was the 32nd ranked in the NFL. So if we have the 32nd ranked last worst O-line in the entire NFL today, history says that Herbert can put up record numbers behind that still. To me, what really is the key for the Chargers in surviving all these injuries, and Justin Herbert, if he can survive the 2025 season behind this O-line, it's got to be, for one, he's got to get the ball out quicker. There's a lot of times where he is able to make crazy plays with his legs, extend plays in the pocket. This is Herbert's game, but he's got to know that part of his game is kind of handicapped when his O-line, any of the 5, could get absolutely toasted off the line of scrimmage. And then 2, the Chargers need to just stop. I know we lost Najee Harris. I wish we still had Najee Harris for this exact situation. It is time to run the damn ball, Jim. Enough with the trick plays. Enough with throwing the ball left and right and 50 times a game. We need Omarion Hampton to get 20 carries next week, and we need to see what he can do with that. I think he's going to have 150 yards if we do that, especially against the Commanders. We're playing the Commanders next week, Joe, and you know about their defense. It's very wishy-washy.
Well, yeah, I know about their defense, and I know about what they can do, but, yeah, Washington is not they're not the team that they were last year, and I know that people are going to be like, well, they beat the Raiders. Yeah, they beat the Raiders, but the Raiders also beat themselves a lot in that game too. There were some bad things, but yeah, but I was going to say that one thing you guys do have is, and the one thing that you should be happy about, same thing with the Raiders this week, is we saw life from the rookie running backs. Like that was what we wanted to see, and we wanted to see that happen. I mean, I think every team. I think even like last night, Harvey, right? He did pretty good. I think we saw a good weekend of rookie running backs. Like, so if you have some positives to take away, and it's always hard to find positives in a loss when you're looking at it, but sometimes you just got to do it. You just got to look.
If you had to make a bet today, Joe, would you bet that Herbert survives the season?
That he plays 17 games, like he starts 17 games or
Yes.
finishes 17 games?
Or at least if he does sit, it's like it's not week 18, like he's sitting for that. Like he makes it through healthy and we get to the playoffs with Justin Herbert in the pocket with what's going on with the O-line.
Me as a Raider fan, I would say I don't want to see Justin Herbert. I don't want to see him play. As an NFL fan, I want Justin Herbert 100% every week, or at least out there every week. No NFL players ever 100% when the season starts, right? Like, I would love to see Justin Herbert play every game, just as an NFL fan, because you always want the best players to play, especially with all the injuries that we've already had this year. But do I think he's going to make it? I think there'll be one game that he's going to have to sit out. Yes.
Well, I think that would be a good thing. I hope that he can make it through the whole season with this, with all these hits that he's been taking. Like I said, the key is running the ball, and then we got to get the ball out quick. And then on top of it, our receivers are dropping a lot of passes this year. Not Quentin Johnson ironically. Quentin Johnson hasn't dropped anything. Quentin Johnson all of a sudden has lost his damn mind and is going for touchdowns every single week, big touchdowns, big plays, becoming the player we all want him to be. And now Ladd McConkey is having 3 drops on one drive.
They like somebody did voodoo and they took it off from Quentin and they put it on everybody else. Like they were like, yeah, we'll take it away and we'll make you a good player, but everybody else has to suffer. Like it's just the voodoo. But hey, Mike, let me tell you, I'm gonna blame you. You know who you can blame this loss on? You can blame the Chargers' loss on Fernando Ramirez. Do that, Mike, because Fernando never travels to road games or hardly ever does, and he went to New York for this game and he watched that one. And I was like, I saw him and I saw him post a picture of MetLife, and I was like, really, Fernando? Now you travel? So the one time he does travel with the Chargers.
You're saying he's a jinx?
Not saying that, but I'm saying that.
I think the Chargers will be fine. We're going to get Khalil Mack back in the middle of the season. We're going to get Joe Alt back in the middle of the season. And we're going to go back to being that 3-0 team, that Super Bowl contender that we looked like for those first 3 weeks. We just got to get through this part of the year with helping Herbert with some of these other things. The defense keeps playing the way it's playing. The Chargers are going to win this weekend for one against the Commanders, and then they're going to keep winning the rest of the year and be back in it. The key is the head coach and the quarterback both know what to do. Now it's just about execution and getting through this. So we're buckled up. Justin Herbert will survive the season, but now let's move on. You see the line is drawn in the sand here. This is a Chargers-Raiders centric show. Let's talk about the Raiders. Will Geno Smith survive the season as the Raiders starting quarterback, Joe?
I don't know. He's getting hit a lot too, and and I don't know about you. I don't know if you know this, but we lost Colton Miller too to a high ankle sprain.
Yeah.
So he went out late in the game. And then Chip Kelly is such a genius. Colton Miller leaves with the high ankle sprain. It's 3rd down and 2, and you need the first down, or you want the first down to continue it. And he runs the ball right at an 8-man front with 6 men blocking, and right behind the tackle that just came in the game. Like, I thought it was awesome. I thought it was a great play call right there. But Geno Smith, I think Geno Smith is just forcing it, trying to do too much. He has 7 interceptions on the season, 3 against the Chargers, 3 last week. So 6 of them in 2 games, basically out of the 4 games, and both of those games have been at home. So I kind of feel that it's kind of in his head that he's trying to make the big play or try to impress the home crowd trying to be that guy at Allegiant Stadium. Like, I think it's more in Geno's head when it's at Allegiant Stadium than anywhere else. I think he just needs to calm down and just take what the defense is giving him. Stop trying to force it. And hey, if you need to throw it away, throw it away. If you need, there's no, we've seen it too much where quarterbacks try to make that play. Like, it's okay. I'd rather you punt the ball or go 3 and out and punt the ball than give the team the ball in our territory already, and that all they got to do is go 3 and out and kick a field goal. Like, you're giving up free points. That's what Geno did last week. But yeah, I think there was positives from the Raider game and there was negatives. But I mean, Ashton Genty finally had a big breakout game. I've been calling for the Raiders to bring in Raheem Mostert, and I don't know why they inactivated him for 3 weeks in a row. They finally bring him in. He had 70 yards on the ground. They had him in the back of the kick return, and they were afraid to kick to him. So that was they kept trying to find Lobby wherever Lobby was. That's where they would kick it to. But so there was positives to take out of the Bears game, but also the Bears are one of the worst teams in the league too, or statistically one of the worst teams in the league. So the positives outweigh the negatives outweigh the positives, and it really outweighs it when you lose to them too. It's like, it was. This was one of the most defeating losses that I've been to blowout losses. I could take a blowout loss. Like I could take an ass whooping. Like I could do that. But when I'm sitting there and I'm watching the game and I'm like, hey, we're actually doing pretty good. And then just to lose it like the way, like the final drive, the Bears' final drive, like I already knew the Raiders were losing. I felt it in my, like Bears fans were quiet in the stadium, but I'm sitting there and I'm shaking my head and they're like, what's wrong? I go, I'm just going to watch it play out. And Caleb Williams went down and then Swift scored the touchdown and I was just shaking my head and they were like, what? And I was like, and then we got in field goal range, and I didn't think they were going to block it, but I thought Daniel Carlson was going to miss it. Like in my head, I was like, I've seen this story before. I've seen it before. Like, and it just like, I have a good video that I posted, Mike. I don't know if you saw it, where it's just me there, and I just sit down. I'm like again, like we find different ways to lose these games. Like it's.
Yeah, and well, you can really see when you watch the Raiders, and I didn't watch the whole game in full, but I had it on the side, of course, with my little watch, try and cheer myself up with the Raiders loss from the Chargers loss. A little emotional hedging. And shout out to King Joker, by the way, who's in the chat, Charger fan. Bolt up. Everyone that's tuned in, please like the stream. If you're not tuned in on YouTube, come over to YouTube and like the stream. Subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can be here every week when we go live and talk about all 32 NFL teams, but also Chargers and.
He said, "What's up to me?"
Raiders. He did say, and oh hey Joe, which is close, close to high. But yeah,
I get a lot of crap for talking to Charger fans. I don't know if you ever seen that, Mike, but people always say, "Oh, you talk to more Charger fans than anything." I go, "Well, I didn't know it was illegal to talk to other fans."
That's just not true for one. I just want to say that. You know what I mean? Like you just talk to me. Is that too many Charger fans just talking to me?
Well, and then they always see this behind me that I have you and Tony, and then two Chargers. But I'm like, dude, like if you saw my group chat, like I'm the only Raider fan in my group chats. Like it's like I don't know like how people go around. Like if you only talk to Raider fans or only Charger fans, like I think that would be a boring life.
And they don't even know that Tony's more a Justin Herbert fan. He just became a Chargers fan. Like
Tony. They just hopped on the Charger bandwagon and
from
it's
birth.
not working out for him.
Yeah, it's not a from birth thing. But yeah, the Raiders, it is tough to watch Geno go down this way, but it's kind of what I expected. I expected Geno to maybe know the offense and be very trustworthy with his receivers like he's in Seattle, but no one around him is ready yet. And you could tell that the Raiders, it's not that they're a poorly coached team. I don't think they're a poorly coached team. I just think that they're going to take a while to find the right culture setters like your Ashton Genties. You're going to need multiple of those guys, not just one. And right now, the team is 3 superhuman players trying to carry you to victory, and they can get you close, but you need everyone else to be perfect. And like you're saying, with all these penalties, all these issues late in the game like that, they get the ball. You're kind of already assuming that this is not going to go the way you want it just based off what you've seen the entire game. So
and Max Crosby looked like the best. Like when you watch Max Crosby in the first 3 quarters of the game, you were like, this guy is as advertised. This is what everybody talks about. This is taking over games like T.J. Watt takes over games, like Myles Garrett takes over games. Max Crosby looked like the best player in the NFL at times during this game, and then it just like that dude tipped the ball and intercepted it himself. Like he was carrying the team on his back. Like. But how, like I said, like how much can, and then after the game, or even like, I think it was yesterday, Brian Baldinger, he posted a thing about Max Crosby. He loves Max Crosby. So I did a breakdown of Max Crosby. And Max Crosby responded to his tweet, Mike, and he goes, I still need to do more. How much more can you expect a guy like that to do? But that's his mentality. Is like, I didn't get the win. And even Ashton Genty in the locker room was like, I'm not, the stats are cool, but I wanted to win. Like that's the mentality I like, and that I like that because we've seen how many times have we seen nowadays, Mike, where most people are worried about their own stats than actually team wins. So that's the difference. Like that Like last year, we had to listen to Devontae Adams every time in the locker room, and he was like, "Just give me the ball. Like I want the ball. Like we could win if you give me the ball." No, these guys are like, this is a different Pete Carroll atmosphere. I'm thinking that that's why the team is a little bit different this year, because they're not all me guys, and they like Geno Smith. Geno Smith came out and apologized. I don't know if you saw that interview, and he apologized. He said, "This loss is on me. I take it. These guys work hard every day. I see them work hard every day, and I lost it for him." He goes, "I'm not the Geno Smith that you guys thought you were bringing in. I haven't been. I need to get better." So he took responsibility. This like, to see like 3 press conferences like that were actually like, okay, like I understand it. It's not the Derek Carr crying press conferences, but it's getting there.
Yeah, they just aren't there yet roster-wise. It's just still a rebuild. We're going to keep saying it week after week after week. I feel like you saw it coming. I saw it coming. For some reason, there's just like a select group of fans out there that are just like, and I guess maybe you can admire these guys and you can say, bravo. You always think it's going to go well no matter what. But if the Chargers are entering a perilous-looking season, you know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and say that the Chargers are going to win the Super Bowl. I am going to be somewhat real. I still am probably going to be on the positive side of what's going wrong and think that Trey Lance can do it. But I'm not going to be necessarily like putting all my eggs into it and then calling other people idiots when they're like, no, the Raiders are not winning 14 games. You are absolutely crazy. I'm not the crazy one to say that they're going to win 7 games or 6 games or 5 games. It was clear that this roster, no matter their coach, needs years of building. Years.
Yeah, and the Raiders, and I've told Raider fans this, the Raiders have been tore down multiple times and try to rebuild in other people's eyes. They tried to do it last year with Tom Telesco and AP for 1 year. They tried to do it with Josh McDaniels for 2 years, and then they try to do it with John Gruden. It's just you can't, if you don't have consistency, you're not going to be able to do it. You have to let the pieces go, and they have to find out what they want. But that's every single team. But Mike, let's not sit here and say that everybody should get excited in the offseason. Now, there's realistic expectations and excitement, and then there's fun. Like I will tell you every time. Like if you ask me how the Raiders record, I'm going to tell you 17-0. But then I'm going to be like, okay, let me break down the schedule. Okay, 7-10, we'll be right there. But like you should be excited going into the season. There's some people that don't have the realistic station of what their record actually should be, and they get caught in that off-season hype. Everybody does. Our friend Tony Tucker says it all the time. It's hype season, right? And I go, why are people getting mad at me when I talk about my team or I talk about this? And he goes, because they don't want to hear the negative. Nobody wants to hear the negative about their team, about their football team in the off-season, because that's hype season, like Tony said. It's hype season. It's hype season. And then when you actually bring the negatives, like you know, about your Chargers or about my Raiders or whatever we bring up, people don't want to hear it. They get pissed off and say you're a hater, you're a fake fan. But when you go back to it, like the Raider fans, like I don't like to be that guy that throws it in your face, but I kind of have been this year. Like when the Raiders drafted Ashton Genty, I'm only doing it because I took a lot of shit, Mike. You were there, you saw it. I was at your house for the Ashton Genty one. People got on it. I go, who's going to block for him? Nobody, right? I made a video about the wide receivers in training camp. I said, our wide receivers, I question it. We don't have a good wide receiver room. People told me I was dumb, and our wide receivers were amazing. Where are we at? So it's just little things that you pick up while you're watching the team, and you just hope that people see it as well, but they don't always see it.
Well, I also think that it is like me and you are kind of connected and tied into the rest of the league too, so we can compare and look who shows up on time.
Yeah, I told you, there's the jinx right there.
Jinx. But yeah, I think that we have the knowledge and the wherewithal to compare our team to other teams. I don't think anyone really does that. It's not necessarily those people that are overly optimistic that confuse me. Maybe I worded it wrong. It's more the people like Harrison, for example, who is surprised when results happen. And they're like, I can't believe this. Fire Pete Carroll right now. This kind of stuff is like, wait a minute. You didn't see this coming at all, even 1%. Like I've seen Raider fans and Raider pages posting like memes of the Kermit the Frog jumping off the building. Like, shouldn't you have jumped off the building in training camp then? If you really are being honest, come on, bro. It's not the time.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Mike. Like, sad videos are the easiest videos to make and get the most views on.
I know that too.
And then nobody wants to see somebody happy and like us. It's like when we see Chiefs fans celebrate, we're like, man, screw them. But when the Chiefs lose, we're like, hell yeah, cry baby, cry all you want.
Well, this is like this is a top 5 week for me on Chargers Twitter where I've just been like, okay, you guys are being ridiculous. We're 3-1, and by the way, we're 14-7 the last season and a half now. So like the team has completely flipped from a 5-win team to a very successful team that's winning double the amount of games that they're losing. And fans are acting like, oh, I'm done with this team. I'm hitting the quit button. I'm throwing my jerseys away. Like, bro, we lost one game. We're going to go 16-1 now. Is that really that much different than 17-0? What's the difference?
Mike, I like what Fernando says. We should do that. Like, we should be eating food right here and just be like, yeah.
It's actually genius. Yeah, we could add to that. The only thing is that like eating and microphones don't really go well together.
We could do it at a restaurant. Let's just go set it up at a restaurant and
like an ASMR. Yeah.
Hey, Fernando, I told Mike, I don't know if you were watching earlier, that you're a jinx because it's the first game that I've seen you travel with the team. You all of a sudden you want to go to New York, and look what happened to the Chargers.
Yeah. We're coming back to SoFi. All right. We got the Commanders this week. It's going to be fine. And then we got the Dolphins. Should be manageable right now, especially without Tyreek Hill. Prayers.
So two games at SoFi this weekend?
You know, me and Tyreek Hill suffered the same injury, Joe, but my leg bent out of place and the bone was sticking out. None of my ligaments tore. So I would have technically been able to get back out there in 4 weeks if I wanted to.
Yeah, I think that's what got Tyreek. I think all the ligaments is where, because I've always heard that once you can do it, but if you have ligament damage, that's where it's the worst part on it.
Yeah.
But
I think he's done for the season. I've never seen someone that happy to get injured in my life. He has been smiling ever since the injury, almost like he just cashed in on some free money. Hey,
Fernando used the same line that I've been using on Raider fans all year, because Raider fans have been telling me that I'm a jinx, and I go, I don't play the game, so how am I a jinx? Like, and I don't know if that worked this week. I took Sage around the stadium, and it didn't work, I guess. They got Ashton Genty going.
What do you mean it didn't work at all? They had a game-losing blocked field goal. That's the thing that I wanted to say to close up the Raiders conversation here, is that after all of what you said, all the penalties, the 3 interceptions, the crazy plays by Max Crosby and Ashton Genty, the Raiders should have won. They were in field goal range with their clutch kicker. I think Daniel Carlson's falling off. I don't know about you, but their clutch kicker out there, it should have been over, and then it still gets blocked. So have you
ever seen this many block kicks?
The bad luck continues. Yeah, and that's poor coaching. The special teams units need to get on this shit.
Yeah, but this year alone has been more block kicks than I ever remember seeing. But the Raiders themselves, the Bears came out afterwards and said they saw it on tape, that they know that the center was picking up the ball and moving it right before he snapped it. So they saw on tape that they could jump it, and they were like, we're surprised we didn't block more earlier in the game. So they saw it. But in my mind, Mike, I don't know if this is part of it, but I'm wondering if the new kickoff rules are screwing with the kickers' projection of the airtime and where they're kicking it. Maybe they're kicking it lower now, or I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to wonder if it's part of the new kickoff rule. Maybe it's just in my head because the new kickoff rule is always being talked about, but just something to throw out there. I don't know, but there's been so many block kicks this year in the NFL that it's questioning me. And
I think it's more likely what you were saying exactly. It's these tells. You see them on tape, and it's NFL athletes can cash in on it. And if any special teams unit across the league is having what you're saying is happening with the center, there's going to be more blocks for sure. But there's even worse things where it's like they can figure out stunts. They can figure out certain things where the edge players get fooled by the same move every time. So now you go to this move and it sets up a block. I mean, there's so many things that these special teams coordinators break down and go into when they're trying to attempt to make these blocks happen. Like, they will find the micro mistake that field goal team is making. They will find it.
Well, this is the week that we've always talked about. Like, it takes the NFL 3 to 4 weeks to catch up on you on tape, right? Is what they say. So now the film's out there. There's 4 weeks of film on every team out there.
Well, it's not going to get any better for Geno. It's not going to get any better.
They're fighting the tendencies. They're going to look for stuff, and this is where you start making your playoff pushes right here.
It's okay though. AOC is the hero you guys don't deserve. You just don't know it yet.
Well, we can go right into it, Mike, with these picks. Hey, 49ers finally found a kicker, right? That was a big difference for them, is getting a kicker.
I mean, was it? They ended up losing, but yeah. One more game I want to talk about, because I got to get your thoughts on this. Here's the question that we've been asking all since the trade happened. Who won the Micah Parsons trade? And my answer is the same person who won the Packers-Cowboys game. Nobody. That's what it feels like right now. Nobody won the Micah Parsons trade.
Yeah, and I talked about it when Micah Parsons was traded. I think the Dallas Cowboys in the long run, if they use those 2 draft picks correctly, will win it. Like if they can get it, they win it. And I don't know if I said this last week, but I know I've told you before. If you're a Dallas Cowboy fan and you expected the Dallas Cowboys to like run wild this season and go like 12-4 and win everything, you had the wrong expectations anyway. Even if Micah Parsons was on that team, they weren't that team this year. They're going to benefit from injuries in Washington and Giants, whatever, doing their thing. They're going to benefit from that. Playing in the NFC is always easier to get a couple wins in the AFC. People don't like hearing that, but that's kind of the truth. But the Dallas Cowboys, they're the number 1 offense in the league, 32nd defense in the league. So even if you had Micah Parsons, there's not a big difference. Micah Parsons, I've said it before, Mike, and I'll say it again. He's overrated. He's a good pass rusher, but he can't stop the run. What did the Dallas Cowboys want to do to him? They ran right at the Green Bay Packers, right? They wore him down towards the end of the game. They gave Micah Parsons a sack, which was a bullshit stat. It wasn't a sack.
All the bettors needed that. All the bettors needed that. Stop that. We needed that.
Yeah, and did you see Dak in his press conference? He even said that, like, they gave him that because of you guys, for the media and everybody else to put it out there. Like, that wasn't it. Like, but really, Dallas should have won that game, because Green Bay, whatever the hell went through Green Bay's head the last 15 minutes of that game, the 10 minutes of overtime and the 5 minutes before that. I don't know if LaFleur had a brain fart, or the whole team just let down, or he just was like, I don't want Jordan Love to throw an interception to ruin this. Like, he was running the ball in bad situations. He was like, they were like, the time management. Like, I don't even think there was a second left on the clock. I think New York called him, was like, hey, put a second on the clock and let him kick that field goal to tie it, because that was a horrible last play of the game too. Like, they almost didn't have time to kick that field goal. Like, whatever the Packers were doing at the end of the game was mind blowing. Like, it was ridiculous.
That wasn't even LaFleur. That was a mistake by Love. I think what Love was thinking there was like, hey, this is the last chance to get a shot at the end zone, because if we spike it, it's going to be 4th down. I get no chance. So kind of selfishly, he decided to risk the clock on the whole team and run that play. That was kind of scary. That was ridiculous to actually see the quarterback almost do the Dak Prescott slide, but opposite, where the ball runs the clock out while it's traveling through the air. Oh my God, that would have been, and that's the way the Micah Parsons Cowboys game would have ended. That would have been.
But they ran 2 plays, Mike, in 1 minute and 35 seconds.
How's it even possible?
Like, I wasn't at home. I told you I was at a restaurant and I was like watching the game, and I was just like, I wanted to yell at the TV so bad, and I was like, I'm in public, don't fucking do it. But I go, and it's not even my team, but I'm watching this game going, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, get up to the ball, get up to the line, like, throw some, like, do something, like, And then the Packers' excuse after the game, like, listening to to LaFleur and them talk, is like, we didn't know that we were in a 2-minute zone. Like, I didn't know what plays to work. Like,
come on, we're on prime time against the Cowboys here. Yeah,
like, this isn't week 1. This isn't the preseason. Yeah. We're week 4 into the season. You telling me you don't know what a 2-minute offense is? You haven't been practicing your 2-minute offense? Like,
yeah,
get out of here. Like that. Romeo Doubs had 3 touchdowns. He has the biggest freaking helmet on the field. Look for him again. Throw it to him.
Yeah, he doesn't get concussions either. So, hey, I'm happy for Dobbs. Dobbs has dealt with a lot. He's persevered in Green Bay to get to that 3-touchdown game. But yeah, I don't know. I'm in a spot where the Cowboys defense got significantly worse losing Micah Parsons for sure. And I'm with you on the part where you say Micah Parsons isn't the run stopper some of the other guys are, but the defense for the Cowboys was really good when they were humming with Micah Parsons, a good defensive coordinator, and a secondary. It was beautiful. In 2023, they were a top 3 defense. It's only a year ago. Last year, I kind of throw it out because a bunch of guys were injured, not even just Micah Parsons was injured. So the Cowboys, I think, if they can't draft another Micah Parsons, they could lose the trade because of that. And even if they do draft another Micah Parsons, by then, what is the rest of the team going to look like? I guess you're right. It just depends on how the draft picks go for the Cowboys. But as of right now, I wouldn't say the Cowboys won the trade. Then you go to the Packers side of things. You brought him in to upgrade what was already like a top 10 defense. They're not top 10 anymore. It's almost like they're going backwards since the Micah Parsons trade. They had a few good performances to start the year. They caught the Lions before the Lions really had their feet under their offense. I want to see the Lions and Packers game again later in the year. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I wouldn't say the Packers are winning the trade right now because you expected to be an elite defense and you just gave up 40 points and 400 yards to Dak Prescott with one arm tied behind his back. I mean, CeeDee Lamb not being out there is not no small loss for them Dallas Cowboys. So I would say the Packers won the trade. And then Micah Parsons himself, at first, after this, seemed kind of like happy, joyful that drama was finally over. But you could especially see it here in his facial expressions when he's like looking at Dak, or, you know, there's these little moments in the game where they put Micah Parsons on the screen. There's almost like some regret there still. It's almost like he still wants to be a Cowboy. I think that Micah Parsons himself did not want this deal to go down this way. So who won the trade? Micah didn't win the trade by getting the payday.
No. Do you think the Packers would be in the same spot that they are right now without Micah Parsons? Do you think that defense would be just as good? Right? They'd still be 2-2 probably, or whatever they are. Yeah. Or what are they, 2-1-1?
If you think about it now, and another big loss people didn't talk about in that game, losing Devonta Wyatt it really affected their run defense too. I mean, they've been doing good against the run this year for the most part. And then you lose Wyatt in the middle, who was your Kenny Clark replacement, and now you're down to the third guy behind Kenny Clark's replacement, and they were running the ball all over him. And Javonte Williams, shout out to him. Shout out to the Cowboys O-line also. They're good this year. They're solid. Another shout out for Cowboys, Joe. How do you think Dak played in that game? I swear that they cloned Dak and they cloned Tua and replaced them. I swear.
I don't know. I was like, I've been thinking like either we overrated the Packers, or not we, but the NFL overrated the Packers. Because remember, after week 2, the Packers were Super Bowl contenders. They were all that. And we underrated the Dallas Cowboys, and we talked a lot more shit about the Dallas Cowboys. Or both teams just suck. I don't know. Like that's just the way and you know, sometimes when you have two shitty teams play against each other, that's the kind of game that you have. That's the mirror. That's the same game that you saw between the Giants and the Cowboys, right? So I'm trying to think. Like, I don't know if I could judge both teams off of that game. I don't even know if I could judge Dak because of how bad that defense was for Green Bay. But
maybe we should just call it a tie. Should we just call it a tie? Should we just call it a tie?
Let's call it a tie. It's a draw.
All right, they're both exactly the same. Neither team won. Neither team lost the trade. Neither team won the game. Neither team lost the game. It's just complete tie. Packers, Cowboys, exact same.
Yeah. And I do like what Harrison said, because I think I sent that to you, where they asked Jerry Jones if a tie is like kissing his sister, and he goes, "I've never kissed my sister," and he goes, "Have you? What does it taste like?"
Yeah, I saw that clip.
I was like, Jerry Jones felt like it was a win.
Yeah, well, of course. No, that was peak Jerry Jones cinema. You know the meme where the guy's standing there like that is peak. Put his face on that meme. It is perfect. Exactly what Jerry Jones would want if he could script it. That's why you question if that was scripted.
Yeah, and like I've told you multiple times, if you ever were conspiracy theory and you wanted to say that the NFL was rigged or scripted or you know, whatever you want to say, that right there, the end of that game and how the Packers determined it, that is a good way to start with your conspiracy theories, because there's no way. Yeah, like I think I texted you and Tony. I was like, the Packers are playing for a tie. Like, what's going on here?
It's like the Chargers game versus the Raiders a few years ago. Don't want to talk about it for too long, But going into it, all the talk is if they tie, they both go to the playoffs. Will they intentionally tie? All this stuff. And then they like came this close, like one timeout away from actually tying the same week that this is the narrative, right? All week.
Yeah.
That happens very rarely. I think they said it's happened 15 times since they started allowing ties or something like that. It's not like it happens every week. This happens like once a season of all 270 games, whatever there is.
But this is another reason why NFL should go to college overtime rules.
Oh,
we should have a winner. There should be no ties. We need a winner.
And I think that if you take out the timer, you just take out the overtime period in general, and we just make it until someone doesn't score, it's going to be shorter than the overtime anyways. So that works out still.
Yeah.
You're going to get 2 or 3 drives. I mean, the defenses are so good. It's hard to score in the red zone when you tighten up the field. But yeah, that game, let's not talk about it too much, about the Week 18 game for the Raiders and Chargers. All right, let's move on to our Pickems here, Joe. We're calling it a tie between the Packers and Cowboys. That's all we can do, I guess. Starting with Thursday night football, the San Francisco 49ers are coming to LA, and I have some news for my viewers. Well, I've already probably told people. I am going to this game to see if Rams fans show up. And then I'm going to be comparing the Rams fans' attendance to the Chargers on Sunday against the Commanders in SoFi as well. So excited to be at this one, Joe. I think the Rams are probably going to win this. I mean, the way that the offense is playing, they probably shouldn't have won that Colts game if, Mitchell doesn't drop the ball on the 1-yard line. But the way this Rams offense is playing, I think that they're up to the task to get after the Niners defense. We saw the Niners defense didn't do as well against Jacksonville with Nick Bosa now on ice. So I think that this will be a good game still. I don't think it's going to be an absolute blowout, but I'm rocking with the Rams. I also think that Rams D-line can continue to get after Brock Purdy. And I don't know, man. I've never been the biggest Brock Purdy believer. Not in a sense, I don't think he's good. I don't think he's worth the money that they're paying him. And this season, without all the stars there, it's going to keep getting exposed where they're just not quite as good as the other team at quarterback. And, if the Niners don't get Kittle back, that could keep going all the way to Week 18. But the Niners are only 3-1 still. They could definitely turn this thing around.
Yeah, the Niners are doing better than what we thought they would be, especially with all the injuries, right? Like they've been able to keep afloat just a little bit. Mac Jones helping them out, and the other injuries. I think the Bosa injury is the bigger one. And then I don't know if you saw Brian Baldy's breakdown. They asked him what you thought about the Niners or what you saw in the Niners defensive line. He goes, absolutely nothing from that defensive line. I saw nothing from that defensive line. And I was like, oh, like that just shows you like how big Bosa was an impact on their defense and how much they needed him. I don't expect the Niners to show up this week. The Niners, the injury bug has tore this team apart. This should be an embarrassing loss for the 49ers, but it is a division game. So, and it is Thursday night. But I mean, I'm taking the Rams, and I think this should be a lopsided victory, but you never know. But I think the Rams should at least win by 10.
Yeah, I think Fred Warner alone is the only person that's going to keep this game close. So,
but
yeah.
The Rams social media, it did what you did. Like, remember, Bynum from the Colts called out the Rams saying they were pumping fake crowd noise. So the Rams social media posted a bunch of things this weekend saying, looks loud in here to me. Looks loud in here to me.
Well,
I don't know.
I will go test it, and I'm an unbiased source. Literally, I will be on the fence here because both teams from California. So typically, I would be like, oh, I'm gonna go for the team from California in this one. Well, can't pick between these two. I'll be rooting for the Rams. You know me. Anyways, moving on to the next game. Your guys are going to Indy to take on the Colts, and if the Raiders compete in this game and it's close and it comes down to the wire, that would probably be a win for the Raiders in this one. The Colts are red hot, Joe. I don't know if you watched that game, but Daniel Jones played pretty well against the Rams and actually probably should have won the game. And the Colts will be undefeated right now with some big victories versus teams like the Rams. I'm going with the Colts. I got the Colts winning. I think when I put the score up, it was 34-20. I don't know. I think the Colts defense can be better but at times they have flashed and been dominant. So we'll see which Colts defense shows up, play in, play out against the Raiders offense. You taking the Raiders anyways against the Colts here to upset?
this is like a typical Raider game, right? That the Raiders would come out and win, get the crowd, get us back into it, to buy right into us, just to see them go on a 10-game losing streak. Like this would be like that game that we could see it. But I don't like taking early games. Like I don't like traveling early and seeing this, especially like you said. Like we all love to go after Danny Dimes, but he's leading the team right now where they have the fourth. They average 30 points a game. Indianapolis averages 30 points a game. Jonathan Taylor might be the best running back in football right now.
Unstoppable.
And they're at their home turf. Like as much as I want to go with the Raiders, I'm not gonna do it, Mike. Yeah. I might switch it later on, but right now I'm going.
Make sure you guys are following at Joe Morley Sports on Instagram in case he changes his pick and you guys want to see. But Joe Morley is picking against the Raiders. It only took 4 weeks this year. I count it each year. This is the quickest I think you've gone against the Raiders. 4 weeks.
No.
I'm just kidding. I don't actually count it. The Raiders going in trying to upset the Colts. Another thing that I highlight about the Colts is it's not just the running backs. It's not just the quarterback. Like other than fumbling on the 1 yard line, the receivers are getting wide the hell open as well. And that Tyler Warren pick is working out. It's working out well. Because he's helping in the blocking
I got him
game.
in my fantasy team, so I like
He's helping in the receiving game, man. He's looking like the next Kittle that everyone's been looking for and can't find. We'll see how it keeps going, though. We got to give him more time. It's only been 4 games.
That's why I wanted the Raiders to draft Tyler Warren this year. You know, it would have been good to have 3 with tight ends.
Keep stacking them up. Mayer, Bowers, Warren. Then he could have went back into the wishing well next year again. All right, so we're the same so far. Detroit Lions on the road in Cincinnati, and after watching that performance on prime time against the Broncos, I can't pick the Cincinnati offense to even score in the game, let alone win the game. I can't even predict them to score points in the game. They are awful, and they want any chance at winning this season because their record is still okay. I think they're 500, right? 2-2. They want any chance of winning this season? They have to trade for a quarterback. I'm sorry, Jake Browning has been found out, or it's just bad this year. It's unwatchably bad.
Well, yeah, and they can't even get Chase Brown going. Like that's another been a disappointment to that offense. Like
their O-line is trash. It's trash.
Like Jake Browning, like last time Joe Burrow went down, Jake Browning came in and he played okay, but they were able to score. Like it's not there. It's not there. It's like, but then again, we also knew the Bengals had no defense, so you had to get You have to get excellent play out of your offense every single week.
Perfect
for that Bengals team. Yeah, and that's what you put so much pressure on Joe Burrow himself. But that's what the Bengals are hoping that they could hang in there and get a couple wins here and there and be in contention by the time Joe Burrow comes back. But it's ugly. It's ugly. Like last night's game was horrible. I love watching football. I got bored in that game. Like I was like, I don't want to watch this game anymore. Like I don't want to watch this anymore.
I'm just saying, I think that a guy like Kirk Cousins could win a few games in that offense. He could win a few. He could get you a 2-3 record over the next 5 games until you get Joe Burrow back or something. Like you could do something instead of just go down. And by the time Burrow comes back, he's trying to win 5 straight games again, like he does every year.
Mike, Hugo said, screw Jamar Chase. He screwed me over in fantasy. Go ahead and tell people who I don't take in fantasy football, even if I have the number 1 pick. Whoever the consensus number 1 overall pick in fantasy, I stay away from them every year for the last 4 or 5 years. I've been telling you, Mike, there's a fantasy jinx for the number 1 overall pick. And it's not Jamar Chase himself this year. That he's not the one that is doing it, but something's happening to where he's not getting the numbers that he should be at the number 1 pick. It's just the way it is. The overall, I stay away from the overall consensus number 1 pick.
Yeah, I'm not super excited about that at all because I happen to have Jamar Chase in a league or two. And then, in the other leagues where I didn't go Jamar Chase or didn't get Justin Jefferson, I went Tyreek Hill, later in the draft, and now he's out. So it's like my good teams are going down for these reasons, and then my bad teams are already terrible. Can't get much better. It's just not going well for me in fantasy this year. But so we're both going with the Lions. No-brainer pick there. Might be lock of the week. Might be survivor pick because the defense is just so bad. The Lions could put up 50 points with their backups.
I wish I was still in a survivor league.
We will see Teddy Bridgewater. Is he even still the backup? I don't even know if he is. It's not Teddy Bridgewater, is it?
No.
All right, Vikings on the road in Cleveland. And this is an interesting game. It's kind of hard to predict because obviously the Vikings won by 50 2 weeks ago, but then this last weekend, Steelers get them in Dublin, Ireland, and the Vikings are actually staying overseas. This game is overseas, I believe, as well. And the Browns are a team that the defense is playing really well, but the offense, like Cincinnati, can't get anything going other than a little bit of success out of Judkins, a little bit of success out of Fanning. But overall, offense completely like halted while the defense is playing really well. Now, I thought the Lions would beat the Browns last week because I was just like, their offense is just too good to be held back, even by good defense. This week, I think the Browns can give the Vikings some more fits than they gave the Lions. You saw how Carson Wentz played against the Steelers D-line in the first half. It was not the same as the week before, and obviously they didn't have 4 turnovers from one defensive player again. This was a tough pick for me. I'm leaning Vikings very narrowly, but I want to know what you think, Joe.
Well, yeah, I thought the Vikings were going to play against the Steelers a little bit better than what they did last week. I mean, the good thing is they started playing Justin Jefferson. Like, if you have Justin Jefferson in fantasy football or whatever, it's better when he has it. So he had, 8 catches, 9 catches or whatever. So that was good. Jordan Addison came back. That kind of helped the offense. But that Vikings offensive line, not so good. And they got tore up by the Steelers defense. And you got to think the Cleveland Browns have a defensive line that can basically do the same thing. So I'm just wondering if the travel to London is gonna hurt Cleveland. Yeah. I mean, Minnesota, like you said, is already staying over there. They've already been accustomed to it. Sometimes I don't know if that works or not. And I don't know. I want to go with the Minnesota Vikings. I think I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings because I trust that defense a little bit more against the 31st ranked offense of the Cleveland Browns. But I don't feel safe. I don't feel 100% about it. Like Cleveland has been that team that they suck. Like they're a horrible team. Like they're not a good team record wise, but they stick in there and they're a competitive team. You know, does that make sense? Like they're a stingy, competitive team. You can overlook them and they'll bite you right in the butt when they can. Like that's the one thing about Cleveland is like they might not have the talent or they might not be a complete team, but they're right there. They're going to make you fight for your wins. That's
why I want to see Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel get their chances this year. Especially the Browns keep losing. They lose this game. Maybe we'll see one of them get in there. Joe Flacco, he isn't playing terrible, but he's a sitting duck. And that's what's going to be another thing that makes a big difference for me in this game is Brian Flores. He's aggressive, and they weren't as aggressive versus Aaron Rodgers, but they were somewhat aggressive early on in the game and then quickly learned, like, this is Aaron Rodgers still. You can't come up here and show him you're blitzing. If he knows you're blitzing, it's over. I think Flacco has some of that experience, but it's not on the same level that Aaron Rodgers is, and it's not on the same level of faith, I guess, in his receivers that Aaron Rodgers has in his DKs and in these guys. So I think that's going to be the difference, too, is that Joe Flacco is kind of a sitting duck out there if he doesn't have anywhere to go with the ball right off the line of scrimmage against the Vikings' very aggressive defense. I would just watch the Vikings for those that bet on Underdog or any of these DFS sites. Whatever team the Vikings are playing, their number 1 receiver, number 2 receivers, just go in there and put their receptions all the way up and hit higher because it's just check down Charlies against the Vikings and deep passes. There is no in between. I think that you're going to see a lot of teams just throw these slants to DK Metcalf like we saw him score on all year long. And that's the only way you can really move the ball in the Vikings is slowly march your way down. So put in your picks this week. If Jerry Jeudy's in there, if Fanning's in there and he has 2 receptions, put in for 3. It'll be good. It'll work. Trust me. Houston Texans at Baltimore Ravens is the next game I have on my list here. This is another interesting because both these teams absolutely need this win. I have no clue how to call this game. News broke right before we hit live, Joe. Lamar Jackson is not going to play in this game. I think in my predictions video that I already recorded and posted, of course, like a genius, I said Lamar was going to play, maybe play in the game. So I said, if Lamar plays, I'm going to pick the Ravens. Now that Lamar is not playing, I think I'm going to pick the Texans.
Yeah, and so they lost Lamar Jackson. Yeah. He's out for probably a couple of weeks, it says. And MyBookie, the defensive tackles, out for the season with a neck injury, and I think that's been a big difference to their defensive line. Yeah, it's just I think it sucks to be a Raider fan, but the Ravens have been like Super Bowl contenders every year entering the season, and it's like stuff happens to them. And do we believe that was it Tyler Huntley coming in? Do we think, hey, Shador Sanders, let's throw this out there. Remember, you didn't want to get drafted by the Ravens because you didn't think you would get playing time? This would have been playing time for you right here. Like, right? Sorry.
And you would have went on to a team that it's kind of all there for you. Like, a lot of it is just hand the ball off, give it to Derrick Henry, and hope for the best.
I'm just saying. I forgot. It just popped in my head. Sorry, go out. But you know what, Mike? I don't trust the Houston Texans. They beat up, on the Titans last week? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
They haven't looked good. But I'm going to take them this week.
Okay. Yeah, it's tough.
Well, I'll take the Texans this week.
It's a tough pick. For me, it's coming down to when you look at what is the Ravens' path to success here. They aren't stepping back with Cooper Rush and throwing it a bunch of times like they would with Lamar Jackson. It's going to be through Derrick Henry, and they have the guys on the edges to keep Derrick Henry honed in a little bit, maybe even shut him down, as we've seen happen in the past. If you could stand Derrick Henry up and don't let him get up to full speed, you could stop him. He's not like this crazy shifter. He doesn't have these crazy jukes or anything like that in the backfield like Bijan or any of these guys. Like, if they can stand him up.
Oh, it is Cooper Rush. I was thinking Tyler Huntley, but it is Cooper Rush.
It's Cooper Rush.
Mike, yeah. Cooper Rush as an NFL quarterback, starting quarterback, has been pretty good.
Dallas Cowboy legend. I'm going to go with the Texans.
He's a game management.
I picked the Ravens originally. It's just so hard to call. You don't know what you're going to get out of the Ravens offense. You know John Harbaugh and that crew, they're going to bring some surprises to this to try and get some cheap points. And the Texans, man, their offense came alive against Titans. But I don't trust that for half second. I need to see more than one game. The Ravens defense, though, has been right there with the Cowboys where it's just like head-scratchingly bad.
Yeah.
On to the next game. Are we agreeing on all games here? Jesus. Can you pick differently from me, please? Dolphins on the road in Carolina, and it's another who-knows game to me because I don't know which freaking Panthers team is going to show up. Is it going to be the team that won by 30 points the week before to a team I thought the Falcons were good? That's why I was like, wait, what the heck just happened in this game? I thought the Falcons were good and the Panthers were bad, and they just lost by 30 to the Panthers. So do I know anything about football? Flash forward 1 week later. Yes, the Panthers are bad. I do know something about football. They got blown out by the Patriots, who aren't even a great team themselves. I don't know who to pick in this game, Joe. Do you?
No, it's this one's a toss up too because, like you said, Carolina looked like they turned the corner, but they didn't turn the corner. And it's just even like last night, like you were watching Miami, and you're like, did Miami win that game against the Jets, or did the Jets lose that game? I feel like the Jets lost that game more than Miami actually won it. And there was some good things where I saw from Miami, but you know what? Screw it, Mike. I'm going Carolina. I'll take the Carolina Panthers in this game. Like I don't know why. But I mean, I'll take the home team. I'll take them with without Tyreek Hill being there. I mean, maybe it helps them out. I don't know, but flip that coin.
Yeah, it's tough for me too. I just believe in the Panthers defense a little bit more than the Dolphins. And without Tyreek Hill, he's like their juice, man. This is a road game in Carolina. It's not a fun place to go and hang out. And Tyreek Hill would be your entertainment. He would be your road trip fun, right? He would make the team kind of have their spirits up. But you saw him in that pregame, even though there's like questions if he's even going to make it to the trade deadline on the team, he's still just as excited as anyone to get in the middle of that huddle and start hyping guys up. With that gone, who's going to be that guy for the Dolphins? You know, it's not Tua. He's just a real timid guy. He's not this guy's going to get super raw and stuff like that. I don't know. I think the Dolphins are going to be flat here, and I think they're going to struggle the rest of the year. A-Chain is still a really good player, and they could just get on his horse and run this one out, and the Panthers just are sloppy on special teams and give up a return, and boom, Dolphins win. But I'm leaning that Carolina defense can see this as an opportunity without Tyreek Hill to have a really good game, get after Tua. They have a solid pass rush still. And I'm going Carolina. I want to go Miami now just because you went Carolina, but I'm not going to go against my brain. I also think I picked the Dolphins when they had Tyreek Hill, which that video is aging really quickly, Joe. Like really, really quickly. I made the Pickems video yesterday to get ahead of the week, and that was a bad choice. All right, next game.
Milk was a bad choice.
Giants on the road in New Orleans, and this week is just brutal. Don't bet on this week. Can't predict shit this week. I like the Giants, though. I think the Giants are going to win this game. I still think that the Saints are one of the worst teams in the league, if not the worst team in the league. The Giants got some juice from Jackson Dart. It wasn't a perfect game by any means. People are definitely overhyping the Jackson Dart performance. But what I liked to see from him is he didn't make any bonehead rookie mistakes that would have literally lost him the game. That's what I expected to happen. Jackson Dart to make that one play where he's trying to get too many yards and fumbles, make that one extra throw that he didn't need to make, gets intercepted. Some kind of rookie mistake. It wasn't there. He looked real poised. He looked real confident. That's all you need to sell me that you're going to beat the Saints at this point.
Well, yeah, that's all. Jackson Dart, what Jackson Dart is, he might not be better than Russell Wilson at this point, but what he brought is the energy, and that's sometimes that's what kickstarts your team, right? Just bring in a different energy and a different voice in the huddle. I'm taking New York in this game. I think I will pick the Saints to lose every game this year. So
we're at that point with them, and talk about brutalizing the Chargers O-line. That Giants D-line is going to get after the Saints O-line. Trust me. Denver Broncos on the road in Philadelphia. This is one of the more interesting games of the weekend. Denver Broncos coming off a big win against Cincinnati. That game almost went exactly how I expected, though, against the Cincinnati Bengals, unfortunately. For the Bengals, I didn't come away from that game thinking, oh, my God, the Denver Broncos are fixed. I did come away from that game thinking when the Denver Broncos play at their best, they are a playoff caliber team. And that's something that I've kind of been doubting all offseason. When they play at their best, you could see where like there's just all these different targets that maybe none of them are elite, but all together they form something good for Bo Nix. And now J.K. Dobbins added into the mix. He has been a great help in their rushing attack, which has not been amazing outside of J.K. Dobbins this whole season up until this last game. I think that the Eagles, though, have a better quarterback, have a better O-line, have better running backs, better linebackers, and even a better D-line than the Broncos D-line. So why would I take Denver? I got the Eagles winning 31-13. What do you say?
Now,
what say you?
Now, do we think that the Eagles are beatable? Yes. I'm not going to say that they're an elite team, like they're unstoppable. They're a very good team. Denver has question marks, and Bo Nix has been one of them, right? Like, where is that at? But they've also shown that they have good wide receivers, and they've been open. So that's the kind of – I'm kind of questioning it. Like, and I always hate the more teams that go undefeated, the more they start overlooking teams or they start getting groovy and they start finding one of those losses.
It's harder to pick, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if that's going to happen this week, but I can't. I want to see more from Denver. If Denver wasn't coming off a Monday night game, maybe I would be more comfortable taking them. But I'm gonna take the Eagles in this game, especially at home. I'll do it.
The Eagles should win the game, but when you got good coach and Sean Payton, kind of heating up Denver Broncos, anything can happen. They are solid teams. You're right though about the Eagles. I don't think there's a game that you can look at this season and go, yeah, they played amazing for all 4 quarters of that game. Like there is like slip-ups in the second half or slip-ups in the first half, and they end up pulling out the win in the end. Like that Buccaneers game, they were blowing them out. Did you see the score like early on in the game?
Yeah.
They were destroying them. But then, you pissed off Baker Mayfield, you pissed off another player here, and all of a sudden the Bucs came roaring back and almost pulled that off. So Eagles play a full 4-quarter game here against the Broncos again. Shout out to Bo Nix. Has been terrible this year, honestly, in my opinion, compared to what his expectations were. He had his best game of the year this last game, so we'll see what happens against the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly, though. You know us. We're rooting against the Broncos at all costs. Tennessee Titans on the road in Arizona against the Cardinals. Hopefully that's not Kyler Murray delivering my package at the door right now because he's lost his job in Arizona already. But, man, that was just hard for me with the Cardinals, and I've already started to kind of, like, lose my hype about the Cardinals for this season. I hope that this is a game that they can get it all together, though, against Tennessee Titans. But why would I believe that when they haven't gotten it all together this whole season? Even in that Saints game, they let off the gas and let the Saints get back into the game. But their path to winning, honestly, they got to get Trey Benson going to free up Kyler Murray's stuff and to free up Marvin Harrison's stuff because the passing game looks ugly. With all that being said, I am taking the Cardinals to win 20-12.
And I like Cam Ward. Cam Ward has quietly still been the first overall pick that nobody talks about, but he is honest when it comes. Like in the preseason, he talked about our offense is bland. My offense is bland, And then last week they asked him about it. He goes, to be honest with you, we're ass. Our team is ass right now. And I'm like, I don't know if your coaches like that you've been like that real and you really say what you want to say, but NFL fans, I respect it. I love it. It's good stuff. Like if your team sucks and the fans are saying you suck and you know you suck, just say it, right?
And you know what's crazy is I think that Cam Ward is going to be all right in the end of all this. It's okay to eat some shit early on in your career like this. It's not a bad thing. They are a bad team. They are.
Yeah. I don't think Cam Ward has played bad. I mean, he's done rookie mistakes. He's learning the game. I think the Titans are moving in the right direction. It's just, you have to, every good quarterback. Peyton Manning had a bad rookie year. Dan Marino, like there's people out there that have bad rookie years. And
a lot of times it's the first overall pick because they get drafted to the most trash team in the whole league.
But I'm taking Arizona. Thursday nights have been good for teams coming off a Thursday night, right? But I should look at the record of that, but I think Thursday night teams coming into and playing a game the next Sunday have been good. So I'm taking Arizona.
Yeah, we need to see a good game out of the Cardinals, please, man, because I secretly like to root for the Cardinals. I like the Cardinals. They're close here to us, and they have a lot of young talent, a lot of players that I am individually fans of, and they just can never put it together. It's always something. We'll see what happens this week for the Cards. Hopefully they continue this year to get better and not worse, because they started off the year looking good and they just keep getting worse. Patriots on the road in Buffalo for Sunday Night Football. And this was looking like it was probably going to be a stink fest of a game a week ago. Then the Patriots went out there and balled out on the Panthers. Now, it was a lot of special teams. We saw a few big plays, but overall, I think he threw only like 20 passes. Drake May was efficient in that game, and that's what he's going to need to do against Josh Allen. He can't make any dumb mistakes against this Bills offense. I do think that this game will be a lot closer than anyone is expecting, Joe.
So I saw a thing today that the Bills opponents the Bills are undefeated right now, they're 4-0, but all their opponents have one win combined.
That's insane. Yeah.
So I think what are the Patriots at right now? 2-2. So the Patriots have more wins than the Bills have played all year. I don't think the Patriots will be able to win this game. The Patriots defense is starting to groove. So if you're playing fantasy football and you want a sneaky defense, pick up the Patriots, stash them this week, because the next couple of weeks are going to be good for them. That defense, just throwing it out there. But I'll take the Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills to win this game.
Yeah, I think that Mike Vrabel needs to feed Henderson this week. Can we get him going like Derrick Henry had that big game against the Bills defense? What is going to be the crack in the Bills that the Patriots can take advantage of? I've got it 24-21 Bills. I do think it'll be a little bit closer. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, yeah. But if you're a Patriots fan, you got to like what you're seeing from the week one. You were kind of upset, but now you're starting to see, and this is the first year of Mike Vrabel and that coaching staff. Like, they got to build back up. Like, if you're a Patriot fan, you gotta like what you're seeing, though.
Get the ground game going, please, Mike. Monday Night Football, before we get to my game of the week and my upsets of the week, the Chiefs are going to Jacksonville. We'd like to see that all the way to Florida to play the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars coming off a big win against the 49ers. Chiefs coming off of a big win against the Ravens. I'll let you go first on this one. Who do you like?
The Chiefs. Like, I don't want to say it, but the Chiefs are back. We had a chance to get them out. Like, Baltimore had a chance to nail that coffin shut and put them at 1-3, and they didn't do it. The Chiefs are. This is what, once they start getting healthy, once they start getting their groove, this is what we hate to see. And good teams find ways to win, and Kansas City's doing it again.
Yeah, I'm 100% rooting for the Jaguars, obviously. I want the Jaguars to win. I think they can win. Their front seven is playing amazing. They're wrecking games. They're messing people up, forcing a lot of turnovers this year. They can do that to the Chiefs for sure. The Chiefs have not had like a crystal clean offense, but getting Xavier Worthy back, it's like a night and day difference for them. It really is. And this guy is way better than people even expect so far already. Like the whole world is going to know Xavier Worthy's name one day. I'm very confident in that. So that's why I'm taking KC. I think, like you're saying, they kind of found themselves. And then there's one more thing that's really bothering me about the Jaguars. Every Jaguars game I've watched, even all their wins, they make a game-losing mistake at the end. Like, something happens where it's like You should have lost because of that, and you got lucky. And this week, Trevor Lawrence could have just ran for the first down and slid, and the whole clock would run out. And Trevor Lawrence runs out of bounds and stops the clock. Slides out of bounds, by the way, Joe. So even looks stupid as well as he does it. The next play, he throws a pass to his tight end. His tight end knew, wait, I can't go out of bounds. I need to get down. His tight end gets down, and then they close the game out. So it's just like, I don't want to see my quarterback making those kind of bonehead mistakes and just keep getting away with it. It won't happen against the Chiefs. They will make you pay if you give them the ball one extra time at the end of the game. It is not Brock Purdy. It is Patrick Mahomes. I've got the Chiefs winning it, though, too. I want the Jaguars to win, though. I really do. It will be a fun Monday night game because I do think that this Jaguars defense is playing some inspired ball, and I want to see what that looks like against the Chiefs offense.
Yeah.
All right. Mike's game of the week here, Joe. Chargers hosting the Washington Commanders, and the Chargers need this win. The Commanders need this win really badly. I'm going to give you my unbiased pick. I got the Chargers winning.
I got the Chargers winning this game too. Just because even with the Chargers offensive line hurting, as long as they can come up with some good game plan, you should be able to score some points on this Washington defense. Like they're a beatable defense, and I don't know if Jaden's playing or not, and I don't think that makes a difference for me. But I'll take the Chargers this week.
I think they're planning on Jaden playing. He's not for sure in yet. He's still questionable, but the plan is to get him in there. So we'll see. You want him at 100%, obviously, if he's going to be making his return. I think that there's a real opportunity in this game for Omarion Hampton to even go for more than he did last week. You look at what the Falcons did and their offense did to this defense. They were torturing them in all facets. I can't even believe I'm saying this. I want to see more QJ out wide. Like this last game against the Giants, he had a terrible mismatch against a corner that looked like he was sincerely 150 pounds. And we gave it to QJ a couple times, and he scored off of one of those catches. Maybe feed him a little bit more if we get a mismatch like that. But I got the Chargers winning it on a walk-off win with Dicker again.
Well, you have the wide receivers. Like Washington can't stop wide receivers, and that's this thing. You have a quarterback that can throw the ball. You should be able to win this game and win it easily. Yep. But
and I wonder what the Commanders are going to do defensively to take advantage of the O-line struggling. Are they going to just try and rush 4 and just beat us? Are they going to send more blitzes? Because honestly, from what I've seen in Justin Herbert's career, I want them to blitz him at this point. This guy just absolutely tears up cover 0 and cover 1. Please give it to us. Upset of the week. Here we go. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are on the road as underdogs in Seattle. And by the way, Joe, Steelers-Vikings upset. Pull it down. Got it again last week. I like the Bucs on the road against the Seahawks. I think that the Bucs are still a sneaky NFC contender, are still an NFC championship potential team. They just haven't put it all together for 4 quarters yet. Now Mike Evans is out, and you're not going to see their full strength until he's back. But I think that this is a game. I know the Seahawks defense has been playing really well, and I don't expect them to be terrible, but they have the matchups on the Tampa side of things to give their secondary fits, give Baker enough options when that Seattle D-line is getting after him. And I think that the Bucs can get it going early in the game and then sustain it throughout the game. We've seen them start slow and we've seen them finish slow this season. I need 4 quarters out of these Buccaneers. And I think that they can upset the Seahawks as one of my upsets of the week. And then my other one was supposed to be the Jets upsetting the Cowboys, but I am not sticking with that. No. We're going with the Cowboys over the Jets. That upset of the week is officially canceled. So my upset of the week this week is officially Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the road in Seattle. But what do you got for these 2 games? Go ahead and fire them out.
I'm taking Seattle to win this game. I'm not sure if Bucky Irving is 100%. I'm not sure if he's playing or not. They're already without Mike Evans. I think I've already talked about teams coming off a Thursday night. Seattle's had the extra time to get ready for Buccaneers. I think they come out and their defense gets rocking. And then so I'm taking Seattle in that game. And then there's no way I'm taking the Jets. Like even with how bad the Cowboys defense is, worst ranked defense in the league, and Justin Fields he shows good spurts, and then they do dumb stuff, and then they just lost Allen, their backup running back, who I thought was a good difference maker with Breece Hall, so that he's out. So yeah, I'll take the Dallas Cowboys in this game, and you know how much I don't want to, but I will. And then that sucks for the Jets. Another loss, right? They'll be 0-5.
Yeah, I was ready to bring the Jets upset up if they just looked okay, at least against the Dolphins, but they didn't even look okay. They looked unpickable in that game against the Dolphins, who are a riddled team themselves. I think that this Cowboys offense is going to play even better than the Dolphins offense did against your Jets defense. So I think that the Pickens versus Sauce matchup will be a lot of fun, though. So enjoy watching that one-on-one matchup. All right, that's our picks. That's our reactions to week 4, picks for week 5. If you guys want to join the Pickems challenge, by the way, this is a challenge. You can join at the link in the description of this video for completely free, or there's a paid one as well if you want to join that one. If you guys want to check out the sponsor of the Mike's Pickems challenge this year, MyBookie, there's a promo code. You guys can bet your first bet up to $500 risk-free. They'll give you a free bet up to $500 when you use promo code NFL Mike on MyBookie. Go check that out. Help out the Pickems challenge, support the Pickems challenge, so we can be back here year after year after year. It's year 5 in a row, Joe, of doing the Pickems challenge. Can you even believe that we're 5 years into this shit?
No, but I like
it. I'm pretty sure I won every year too. I'm pretty sure I won every single season. But anyways, anything else to say to the viewers that are out there?
Love football. I don't know. I don't have nothing. I was gonna say something, but
usually you have some kind of joke that you didn't get out or something at the end to drop on everybody, but you got nothing today. Jeez.
Yeah, I don't think usually I do, but I think I got it all out so far.
Okay, well, I hope the Raiders lose. That's my last words for the stream. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. Again, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll be back next week to see who does better in our Pickems challenge, Raiders or Chargers fans. But what will happen?